Claudia Meier, thank you for accepting this discussion about wealth management and innovation.
Very welcome.
One question that we always ask professionals in this field, what is the essence of private banking and wealth management?
I think the essence in private banking are the client and to understand their needs and to give them a high quality service. I think there is a considerable amount of trust involved with sometimes long-term client relationships and also a willingness from the wealth managers to go the extra mile. Last but not least, in the last time, I think performance has become increasingly important, and also client needs are much more sophisticated.
You launched the first wealth manager report at Vontobel in 2004. What are the highlights in private banking and wealth management in 2007?
To me, private banking and wealth management is a very fascinating and also fast-moving environment. I would like to remind you, in 2005 we have seen the acquisition from Julius Baer of the 3 independent UBS private banks in GAM. We have seen EFG coming to the market. In 2006 we saw LLB buying Bank Lindt, and just this year Rabobank has exercised its strategic option on Sorazin. So I think it's really a lot of momentum, and here there is a constant need to reinvent yourself, to go internationally, but also to offer new products.
You have talked about speed. Has this changed to 2004, for example, or before that when you started looking more closely at wealth management and private banking?
I think so, and I think in the last, say, 2 or 3 years we have seen a lot of company going internationally. We have also seen a lot of company entering and manufacturing new products, and I would certainly say that currently there is really a lot of momentum, and this is probably also linked to the very good performance at the financial markets.
Our blog focuses on innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me, where do you see strategic innovation happening in this industry?
As it's a fast-paced environment, I believe innovation is happening all the time, because you need to reinvent yourself, you need to adapt to new situations. A lot of innovation I see in exploring new client segments, new markets, international markets, globalization, but also on the product arena, especially as you have to fulfill the client's needs.
Can we already see the difference between some banks that are able to innovate, that are better at it, and then a group that just can't follow?
There certainly is some polarization. Your question is probably in the line of which business model do we regard as very successful. I believe UBS Wealth Management has a very successful business model, and I admire them for their approach to contracyclically expand in European wealth management, buying assets at a very cheap price. They say about 1.5% of assets under management. On the other side, I admire CS for their innovation in products. And from the mid-sized players, I believe LGT or Geneva-based Rothschild have very interesting business models, a little bit like UBS, that have expanded their geographical footprint quite early in the cycle. But I also like ÜBP and Bank Seeds for their innovative products. Obviously there are also some privately held private banks. For instance, Vigalin I think is an interesting and successful model, or also Lucerne-based Reichmuth. And last but not least, I think EFG, Sorazin and Julius Baer, there are a lot of interesting developments going around, and it will be very interesting to see what they will be doing. Ultimately, I believe it's key to find yourself and a business model to distinguish yourself from the competition.
If you're a top executive at a private bank, there are going to be issues that are going to shape the industry in the coming years. What do you think, from your perspective, what are the dominating themes for the next few years in private banking and wealth management?
I believe there are 3 key success factors. First of all, it's the employees. You need to have good employees. I think also the requirements to be a good private banker is probably ever increasing. I think of language skills, of mobility. I also think of understanding the client's needs and coping at the same time with cost pressure. So employees are one of the key success factors. Secondly, I believe a broad international footprint is very important, as some clients don't want to come to where you are on one hand, and on the other hand the wealth concentration and acceleration in the different countries is different, so you probably want to be where there is a lot going on, so you need to be international. And last but not least, I think products is very important. I think this is probably a newer development, and especially younger clients, they want to have performance, they understand more, so you have to have a good product offering.
Claudia Meier, thank you for this insight in the analyst's perspective of private banking and wealth management.
You're very welcome.